Right? Jimmy found his hard hat. Josue hung the right gear.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. We got a game 7, just like we all said, right?
I can't remember the last time there's 4 straight elimination games in Boston. I mean, I guess I can.
Yeah, you
Red
probably
Sox.
can.
Well, Red Sox, Yankees, obviously, but I mean, from
Hey.
two different teams, friggin' insane. And here we go.
This is Boston, right? This is what we've come to know for the last 20 plus years now.
Yeah.
And it's been a little sketchy the last couple of years, but nothing. It doesn't get better. If you're a sports fan, there's no better weekend than what's about to come up here. You got Bruins tomorrow, you got Celtics Sunday. But anyways, this is a Celtics show, and the Celtics. Listen,
I got 2 Josue's on here. We're in a bad Brockton start already.
Wow.
One of them was there, and there's the other one. There's the other guy.
Wait, do we have you? Oh, we don't have volume.
Nope, can't hear you.
Classic. This is actually record time. We're a minute 4 in. We've already lost Josue to the Wi-Fi in Brockton. He is home tonight. But listen, Jason Tatum brought it tonight. This is a game. John, I know we've been talking about it. Tatum's been teetering on the edge here this series, and this is the type of game, this type of performance, start to finish, inside, outside, big boy shots. This is the big boy game that I talk about. What do you mean? No, what are you shaking your head?
No, it's true. It's true.
Look, literally all happening.
Tatum can be that guy.
This is how you become a superstar. Right before our eyes. These are the games. These are the moments. Backs up against the wall. Must-win situations. This guy was nails from start to finish. He just had that attitude with him tonight, and it was a put the team on my back type game. I'm not saying he was the only player out there who did anything, but this was the type of performance that goes down in Celtic lore that Bobby talked about.
No, you're right, 100%. But it started iffy in the sense of like, okay, they're taking a lot of threes, a lot of contested threes. No, all I'm saying is, and there was a point in the game where Ime called the timeout, and clearly the message was, guys, get the ball to the friggin' paint, because the Tatum drove, then Jalen drove, then Tatum drove and turned it over, and then complained to the refs about it. But it didn't matter. They started to attack, and they started to attack more and more and more as the game went on, and it made a huge difference, because I was really worried when their first 10 shots, 9 of them were 3-point attempts. I'm like, okay, they're going in. I don't know if it's sustainable, but they started getting to the basket a little bit more, and that opened it up. And then Tatum got into his bag and started doing Tatum things. And look, that stuff's great when it goes in. And when it goes in, you're like, forget about it. He looks unstoppable. And you had one of these nights where Tatum was best player on the planet in these games that you're going to talk about for a long time. So yeah, when this stuff's going,
be a butt here. There better not.
No, when the stuff's going in, it's great. I was just worried when I was watching. I was like, this is one of those games are we going to rely on nothing but threes here? And I like that they started going to the basket. They started to move the ball a lot better. And they stayed with it, and they didn't get stagnant in the fourth quarter with doing that stuff. And then when they did, Tatum bailed them out every friggin' time. I mean, how many of those like late in the clock threes, like some of those possessions, I'm like, oh my God, bad possession. And then Tatum's like, boom, great, good stuff. I mean, but they still kept going to the basket. Jalen was doing it. Tatum with the and one there, that kind of like pseudo dunk finish. There was a balance there, and it was good stuff. I mean, it wasn't just overly reliant on all of that. And then he just had it. He had the step back going all game long. And when that thing's dropping, forget about it. I mean, this was an insane performance.
Yeah, but John, you can't tell me in the fourth quarter that you didn't want it any other way. Because if it was the lead by committee, if it was the everyone, let's just share the ball.
Yeah, no doubt. Did he freeze again?
I was going to give him a second. Yeah. Hey, you know what, John?
I agree. You wouldn't want it any way. I actually think Ime called the timeout. Tatum scored like 11 straight points, and then the Celtics just, for 4 straight possessions, Tatum didn't touch the ball. And Ime called the timeout, and I swear he called a timeout in between Giannis free throws 1 and 2, and I swear he just called that timeout to say, by the way, get the ball in friggin' Tatum's hands. Guys, what are we doing here? There was a couple of possessions where it was Marcus and then White, and it didn't swing to him. They're like, guys, what are you doing? This guy is on freaking fire. Get him the ball. And they did, and they closed it. But, like, it really wasn't that white. There was white knuckle moments there, Jimmy. You went from 18 all the way down to 4. But Tatum. That was it. There's no other way to put it.
There's no other way to put it. And
it was all Tatum. Yeah.
It's all Tatum. I mean, quickly, if we could start a quick little maybe GoFundMe for Josue just to bump his Wi-Fi connection. What's the price difference from like 40 megabytes to 100? Yeah. I mean, can we get him to 100? I mean, this guy, unbelievable.
I'm done joking about it. I don't even find it funny anymore. I'm just mad.
To your point, John, to your point, you can let him in when you feel ready for it.
I think he can let himself in.
No, he can't. He can't.
No, he can't. Yeah. All right, I'll let him in.
I see when I get into the studio, things happen. So I'm out of the studio.
I'm grudgingly letting you back in. This is the last chance. I know you are.
I'm out of the studio. I'm not going back in there.
Josue, you have to. You press punishment. You have to listen to me ramble. So, John, to your point. You're right. Everything you just said.
Can I pin this comment, by the way?
What? Oh, you only had 8 fouls tonight. Yeah.
No, the next one.
Oh, the next one. Yeah. What do you got?
When it comes in there.
Oh. And we lost Josue again. But
Bobby's John, negativity sucks, and I agree.
Bobby's negative sucks, and it stinks, and it sucks. And you know what? No, but this is a game where we'll be talking about this one for a while. And John, yeah, of course, Tatum's he's not gonna have games. There's performances from your superstars where they're not gonna be hot like this. And we tend to get on Tatum for the games that he doesn't quote unquote show up from start to finish. But he on a night like tonight, he kind of reminds you that he is in the conversation for one of the youngest, top, best players in the NBA. He does need to be talked about with the Bookers and with the Morants and with the Lukas. I'm not saying he's better than those guys, but he is right up there in that conversation. And he's at this point in his relatively young career, he has put together some pretty freaking memorable and historic playoff performances. This one's right at the top. I mean, really, with everything that was on the line tonight, 7 3-pointers, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and then obviously the 46 points. He was nailed. He was literally the guy that you looked to, and that's what a superstar is. I mean, that's he's head and shoulders when he's playing like this. You realize that he really is head and shoulders above 95% of
but
the NBA, 99% of the NBA. Really.
Look, when he's making these shots, yes, out of his mind.
Right, but he's capable of doing it. A lot of guys aren't even capable of this.
And look, and that's why
the guys happen every game. Obviously,
but that's why we always argue with Bobby on well, does he play? And not about Tatum, but we were arguing about guys like, does he play defense? I'm like, I don't care. This game's about shot making. And again, when Tatum is making shots, making difficult shots, making shots late in the clock, making contested shots, that's something only a handful of people in the league can do. That's why Luka is a friggin' maniac, and I don't care that he's out of shape and bad at defense. He literally affects every single possession because he's, he controls literally everything that happens on the court all the time. That's what Tatum's got to be. Tatum's got to be the guy who's making it happen all the time. And then the shot making has to be elite from him. When he goes into these cold spells, it sucks. And, that's what happened a couple games. When the shots just aren't falling, it's brutal to watch. And when it goes in like this, you're like, oh my God, this guy's unstoppable. So again,
for anybody, when the shots aren't falling, you want to watch Harden on a night where he can't hit a shot. It must be the most painful experience of your life.
It's so hard. And that's what was this game. The way it started was I was nervous a little bit, because it was too many threes. Tatum got caught again, complaining and not getting back. He's falling on every 3-point shot, looking for calls. Jaylen Brown's got a loose dribble. Marcus Smart's trying to do too much with the ball. And I'm like, all of these trends are the ones that are going to kill you. And I was nervous the way it was going. And they really pulled it together in that second quarter, and then into the third, and that was just really impressive. They really locked down the D. I'm going to try this guy again. Give him a shot. Give him one more shot.
John, let me say one thing.
Hi guys.
The difference from tonight and game 5 was the composure down the stretch, because the Bucks, credit to them, again, they did make their run. That they, you cannot never count this Bucks team out. Apparently, they got it to what I think 4. Connaughton again. Giannis is hitting threes.
Connaughton was out of his mind.
Yeah. I mean, and the difference tonight was that, whether it was Tatum or whoever, Smart had a big shot there down the stretch. They didn't unravel. They didn't change the way they were playing. So that tells me that they actually, watched the film, went over everything that they did do wrong over the last day and a half here, and righted the wrongs, and basically came out with a purpose tonight and kept the foot on the gas and did what they needed to do. Biggest game of, every single player's career tonight, on that Celtics team. And they showed up. And obviously Tatum led the way. I would say, all things considered, it's got to be his best, game of his career. I mean,
Croatian kid says it here. It's hard to argue.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Croatian kid, big.
While
YouTube
Josue's here, let's let him do some talking because we never know how this is going to go.
Yeah, listen. People can say what they want about the Celtics playing team basketball.
Frozen.
That was shut up, stop it. Then that was the reason, and that's what this team needed in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, when the Bucks cut that thing to 6, you knew it had to be Tatum because no one else was going to step up. You had Jaylen Brown, and listen, Jaylen Brown at the end put together a nice game. But at the end of the day, you guys were both nervous when every other possession, it felt like he was dribbling it off his foot.
No, I wasn't. Don't you put that on me. I don't want to get heat from everybody saying
that. Man, I'm putting that on Jaylen right now. Listen, I'm not saying Jaylen had a bad game, but what I'm saying is when you needed a big run, you knew that it had to be Jason Tatum putting the team on his shoulders. It wasn't going to happen any other way. Nobody else was equipped for that moment. Even though Marcus Smart was making those threes in the first half and he was in his bag, offensively, you knew it had to be Tatum because he was the only one that it didn't matter who was in front of him as a defender. He was going to blow past him or shoot it right in his face. You know what I mean? And like when the Celtics when the Bucks got within 6, I'm like, listen, if Tatum doesn't get hot here, this thing is over. Like I didn't see it any other way. Obviously, after Tatum makes 7 straight points, other guys got involved. You saw it happening in that way, but I never saw it as okay. All right, Tatum, that's enough. Let's keep spreading the ball around. Let's get everybody else hot. No. I was like, Tatum needs to get going here because nobody else is going to get on a big scoring run, and no one else is going to make that kind of an impact to keep these guys at bay.
You needed it.
Was heating up. The shooters were going. Like the Bucks were starting to get downhill. The crowd was getting back into it. He needed to go off. It couldn't be any other way.
You needed it, honestly, because it was like you're right. You needed every bit of it from Tatum because
nobody else is going to do it.
This could have gone. This could have gone in that wrong direction. And he hit big shot after big shot after big shot. He got to the line. It was unreal. Man. Yeah, it was just big. It was big
too.
Big boy basketball. It was unreal.
After that 8-0 run by the Bucks to start the second half or start the fourth quarter, it was just like everyone's like, whoa. Is this deja vu? It was like everybody sitting around, like Tatum's like, let's go. And it wasn't. I got scared that Tatum's gonna get into the whole ISO dribble. No, it was more give me the ball. I'm gonna make a quick decision, make my move, and that's it. And that's exactly what it was. It wasn't him trying to beat Giannis 1-on-1 every single time. Everyone clear out. No, it wasn't like that. So
and again,
what a game. This is legendary. This is a legendary performance. The one against the Nets last year. Obviously, it was a lot for him in terms of that stepping stone that he needed in the postseason, a big performance against some quality players. But this is different. This is saving your team when they needed you to save them, and going up against Giannis, going up against the champs, and forcing this thing into a game.
No, and everywhere it happened, it gets 92-87. 5 points with 6 minutes to go, and Tatum comes up and hits a 3, and then Jaylen comes up and hits a 3 behind. Hits a 3 off a timeout that looked like a set play, an ATO by Ime, and that pumps it up to 11, and that was it. And then Marcus does the toe on the line one back up to 13, which was great. But I mean, just a couple really scary moments there. It got tight, and that was it. It was friggin' Tatum time. You
know what?
This is like Paul in 02.
Who's surprised though? We all came on this, and
Well, I mean, I didn't like that. I didn't like Tatum this series, even the 34-point game. He's been It's been bothering me the not getting back on defense. I mean, even like the most ardent Celtics fans were kind of getting really frustrated. Like, dude, shut up and come back on D. And he did it a couple times early, and I was like, oh, come on, man, just play. You're the best player. You and Giannis. That's it.
He did that a couple times.
And he did it. It's just like, stop. Like it happens. You're going to lose the ball. You're not going to get every call. You got to stop. It's been driving me nuts. Just play, man. Okay. Let this stuff happen. It's just got to flow. Stop obsessing over the stuff that isn't happening. It's not happening.
So, two things happened. He either watched the show and listened to you, which, I would say that there's probably a slim
Marcus
chance.
Marcus did.
Or do you think that message got to him? Do you think that Ime or do you think just watching the film back, do you think that's something that they said, okay, listen, we need to make a concerted effort to stop this crap because it's not working for us. It never has. Literally has never worked for you complaining to the referees. You just don't have that relationship with them. and it never will. I mean,
I don't think anything happened. I think just honestly, he got hot, and when he gets hot, he gets his swag back, and that changes things. So that's the thing. Is, I mean, when he gets the offense going, he feels good about everything. You see the defensive intensity ramp up. You see him getting back. He's much quicker to get back up down the court on defense after makes. He has not responded well to the challenges when he's had a difficult time. So that's what's been frustrating this year, is because that's what this entire series is two teams that are really good at making the other team play bad. They're very difficult teams to play against. They're physical. They swarm. You have to fight for every inch out there. And he hasn't responded great to that. So, Bobby, I saw you in there. Jump back in, buddy. We're about to get him in. But this was, again, it was, again, once the shot starts falling, everything changes with him. But he had to take charge. He definitely did some stuff different today. And I do think, I'm looking back on that. I'm going to rewatch the game. I really think there's a moment where Ime brought him in and said, guys, too many threes. You're not even looking to get into the lane. You're not even looking to drive to kick. You're just whipping the ball around the perimeter and just taking a three, and they're going in, but you're going to get burned. And I swear there was an in-game thing where it was like, you got to start attacking, just go. And they did.
But
more so.
Let me ask you guys this. Who's surprised that we're going to a game 7? This team's been pretty damn resilient. And the way the series has gone, like we said last show, we have no reason to believe that they can't go to Milwaukee and win. They've already done it.
Right.
They've responded to each loss with a win. And the same could be, and the same, we had every reason to believe the same was going to happen tonight, and it did. So am I surprised that we're going to a game 7? Absolutely not. In fact, I think, I forget now, but I think most of us thought that there was a good chance for a game 7, except Bobby. So if Bobby shows his face tonight, there might have to be an apology came around him. I'm not going to force it, but he, if I recall, said the series was over. So I'm interested to see if he's going to backpedal.
No, we should wait. In all fairness, though, let's wait till this thing is done. Let's see the overall outcome. But I see what you're saying, Jimmy.
But if it's over, if
after the game 4 win, Bobby said they're going to win. After the game 5 loss, Bobby said they're going to lose.
180 Bobby. 180
Bobby's like I said, Bobby's like a goldfish. Once around the bowl, and he forgets what happened. Like, here he is. Defend yourself, Bobby. Bobby, everyone wants an apology.
If we make him apologize now, we're just doing what he does. We're pulling a
I'm not doing it. I don't do that.
No. But Josue, he said the series was over. So I want to know if he takes that back, knowing that
he also said he can't see how there isn't a game 7. So he's kind of said a lot of everything. Yeah.
He said a lot of everything. He said the Celtics will win game 6, and I said the Bucks will win game 7.
He's sticking with it.
What kind of a prediction is that? I mean, how is that even?
do you still feel that way?
I'm leaning that way.
So wait, that's why? Because the Celtics lost game 5. That's why.
Yeah, I think you lost not only that opportunity, you lost game 1 on your home court badly, and you lost an opportunity to steal a game in game 3 here. So I think you've just squandered too many opportunities now. And this game is. I don't want to chalk it up to this because I do think it was a tremendous effort, particularly on the defensive side of the floor. But, man, did you hit an avalanche shots in this one. I mean, good Lord. Did you just catch the ball and run? So, again, I hate to lean this way because I really like the way they're playing, but I don't know. It's tough. Again, game 7's a toss-up. I'm not saying the Celtics have 7, but you gotta lean Bucks the way this one went.
Again, you don't have to lean.
Nobody's got to do anything, Bobby.
No,
I don't know. I don't see the.
Not doing it. Nah.
It's all right.
There's no lean. There's no lean. That if there's one thing we learned, it's literally nothing matters.
Nothing matters, and that goes for anything in life, first of all. But also,
both these
games game 7.
The only thing we've learned is there's absolutely zero carryover from one game to the next. It's the only thing we know with certainty. Anything that you've seen prior to whatever to tip off means nothing. Nothing.
Clean slate. Yeah.
Over and over again. Al Horford goes for 30. Grant goes for 21. Then they go for 0. You know, like the only thing you can count on is Giannis is going to frigging absolutely just
here's the
bulldoze
one.
his
Wait,
way
wait,
through
hold on,
people.
John. Does he have another 40-point game in him, though? Does he have another 40-point game? I
Here's
don't
the
know.
one thing
Yeah.
that gives me- I
Let me
don't
say
know.
this.
Right,
I think
Bobby?
he emptied. He
What?
really was tired through the middle course of this game.
John, this
Like,
stuff takes a toll on players, man. Playing every other day. Sorry, Bobby. Go ahead.
So that's what gives me the pause on the Bucks, and that's what has to make you feel the best coming out of Game 6 is Giannis looked tired through the middle course of that game. Didn't keep flowing through the fourth. They lost control of the game, let go of the rope, and ended up losing this one pretty handily there, despite one last push by him. And they have no one else helping him out. So that's really working in the Celtics' favor right now. I think he's through 6 games given just about everything he is capable of giving here. And I didn't expect there to be such little help on the Milwaukee side for him. Second and third quarters, what do you have? 4 in the second. Third wasn't that great. Fourth, he comes the big sides toward the end of it. He had that 17-point explosion to start the first, and he just sort of tapered off after that.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Bobby.
So
I think that's the thing that I want to see carries over.
Again, though, if you're the Bucks, you say the Celtics hit
Bobby.
everything.
You're just gonna die on this hill, aren't you? Because I don't think in your heart of hearts you think that the Bucks.
I mean, you
are,
might
like,
as well.
just
No
shoe-
fairness, you
like
might
the
as well.
shoe-in win on Game 7. I just think you kind of have no choice now but to like double down on it. That's what I think.
I definitely don't feel as good as I did on Wednesday. I'll tell you that. Celtics
But
showed a lot here.
I mean, after the performance that they had tonight, going back home, I mean, yeah, we know that the game before, it doesn't necessarily have a huge effect on the next one, but I just don't know how you can not feel better about it after.
I do
like
feel better. I just gave you the big
Bobby,
reason I did.
hold on. What did Porter say to you in Boston? Does this have something to do with this?
Yeah, what happened there? What went on
We
that
saw the
one-on-one?
fourth quarter of us, and again,
I'm letting I'm letting Bobby flounder
just
here
teasing
because
him.
I love for once not being the guy that everybody hates. And it's
Yeah, don't
fun.
get used to it. Don't get used to it.
I won't.
One night,
I
John.
know
That's it.
I know it's
One
fleeting,
night.
and I know nobody actually likes me, but I know they're just turning their venom towards Bobby. I'm letting them flounder here, but I mean, this was my concern too. And just a really hot shooting 3-point night, and then these are the nights where Tatum's making these contested jumpers where when they go down, you're like, he's the best player in the world.
shot clock.
And when they don't, you're like, God, what a terrible shot that was, you know? So like, that's the thing about players like him is they make bad shots. And like, when they go in, you're like, forget about it. Unstoppable. But like
Right.
when those don't go, you're like, there's another ISO contested 3 brick with 4 seconds left on the clock because they didn't move the ball at all. And those things frustrate you. So again, you feel friggin' great when the balls go down. And people were like, 10 assists on the first 14 baskets. That's great, but all the threes fell, you know, and like that helps a lot. So it's a little bit of fool's gold there. But again, the reason I feel better, Bobby, is because I thought they got away from that and started to work the ball into the paint a lot more in the second and the third quarter. And that made a difference. They changed their approach.
What a revelation he's been as a connector.
Thank God. Yeah. There's
Who?
once again,
I was
good Derek White. And that lineup,
Yes,
the Derek White
that's what I
lineup
was
when
thinking
Grant's
of.
not in there is great. Yeah.
When you
I
said those
was
middle
just
quarters,
I was begging from the upper deck for them to put White back in, and it really got tight. It got down to 4. They were at 14 to start the fourth. Got down to 4 like this, and then you sub in White, and everything settles down. Nice pass sequences in the Smart. Him and Smart worked well off each other. They found off the ball for shots.
White
that was the
awesome.
key.
Yeah.
You just talked about it in the post-game presser. He hit a lot of shots, big shots, but he also got, and they got things moving there a little bit. Few stagnant sequences there, almost overcame them again. But again, I think it brought me back to what you said earlier in the year, John. Can Ime carry 7 timeouts in the fourth? Because it was like timeout, and they had to reset themselves. But luckily, they settled down. The defense, what a floor that gives them. Piling up stops there, especially at the beginning of the fourth. So it was a fragile foundation here, I felt like, in this game. But again, a win's a win. Tatum gets going. Josue and I talked about it. That's the Tatum you needed. A Tatum who's on the level of Giannis. Jokic, KD, all these elite players in this league. You finally got them here for the first time in this series. On Sunday, you're going to win. If not, you're going home. Because look at what Giannis does again here. Unstoppable in that fourth. So you need this Tatum. That's all there is to it. If he shows up on Sunday, you're moving on to Miami. If he doesn't, I think Milwaukee's moving on.
Yeah, listen, I think this clearly was another great performance by Giannis. And yeah, to your point, Bobby, I thought towards the tail end of that second half, he started to die down a bit. But what's going to happen in Game 7? Does that carry over? I don't know if he has another 40-point game in him. Maybe the Bucks don't need that, for them to win it. But if it's the other guy, then the Celtics are going to have to attack in a way that they did, similar to what we saw tonight, especially with Jalen
tonight was
going,
straight up
Marcus,
cheating from Giannis. Tonight looked ridiculous.
But then you could say the same thing
like
about
he
the Celtics'
couldn't
offense,
be stopped.
right?
It
Outside
was
of Tatum, you could say that those 3-pointers were, you're not going to see them drop 7 threes in one quarter again.
It was like you were watching the fourth from last game again, early on. And
It was. And that's what got me. That's what I was thinking. Okay, here we go again. But Jason Tatum had it to his own hands. I felt like, Bobby. I didn't see it coming any other way. Yeah, Derek White was able to go inside and get things going, but when Milwaukee's going downhill like that, the Celtics get very stagnant on offense.
And the truth of the matter is,
come in.
The truth of the matter is, I honestly don't know that you could do a better job on Giannis than they did tonight. Like, you still made him work his ass off. 14 of 30 field goals for a guy who takes. And this thing, I mean, you made him take threes, which he made. You made him take jumpers, which he made. He normally doesn't make. He wasn't as good around the rim as all that, despite like all of the spectacular moments where it looked like he just bullied his way. They contested. They challenged everything. They sent him to the line. He made all of his friggin' free throws. Like, this is a hard game for This is a hard game for Giannis to repeat. It really is. It really is. He made 2 out of 3 threes, 14 of 15 free throws. And they challenged him when he got to the basket. 6 turnovers, probably 11 fouls. I hate saying, like, you can look at it when they win and say Giannis willed himself to it. You can live with this performance. This is as good as it's going to get. Yeah. No one else is doing anything. He's doing this much because he has to. Right. At the end of the day, this actually isn't highly. He's out. You wouldn't expect this again, for him to make as many shots as he made. I mean, you kind of could live with it. He was
doing it from all over, yeah.
And they did live with it, and it was okay, Again,
I'm doing all of that.
Yeah,
kind of amazing.
Well, it is amazing. Once you establish that lead, it kind of it shrunk a couple of times. For the most part, you kind of kept them at bay. That was it. It really. We're scared because we saw them blow one the other day, but you felt pretty comfortable if you were the Celtics in this one.
Hey, quick shout out Grayson Allen. Minus 29 tonight, got torched from start to finish, like bloodbath out there.
He's the worst starter in the series.
I do not think he's going to start another. He's not going to start another game.
I think he's the worst starter in the playoffs
for the rest of his career.
I don't know what they're not doing. I don't know why they don't just go Connaughton or Portis here again. I
think they have to. I honestly think they have to go Connaughton.
And they got to reduce Allen's minutes to like 12 or 15 and bring him off the bench and just hope he can knock down some shots. They can't give him significant minutes. He was friggin' atrocious tonight. And Lopez played himself off the floor completely. And then when that happens, it opens up the paint. So again, the Bucks are a little screwed when they do that. It's not working for them there. When the Celtics go small, they have a tough time keeping up. But then it opens up the paint. Yeah, they're really thin it opens up the paint like crazy when he's not in there.
And that's what gets Tatum going.
Yep.
I do find it interesting how this game started, though. Obviously, Giannis is racing the 17, hitting everything. But the Celtics are jacking threes like crazy and hitting a lot of them. Forget what the number was to start this game, but they had 7 in the first quarter, I believe. Maybe 7 of 15, I think was the number after 1. And they just keep taking them. And by the end of the game, I still think this is another game where they took half their shots from 3. And it almost felt by design, like they were going to trade 3-point jumpers for Giannis's 2s. And the math stacked up after 1. They didn't play great in the first quarter, but they led after 1 because of how well they shot 3. And right now you're in this kind of math game with the Bucks where Giannis, besides tonight, is struggling at the free throw line. He's struggling to shoot. The team as a whole is struggling to shoot, and they're going 2 at a time. So the Celtics are essentially saying, all right, let's get a lot of threes, high-quality threes up, and we have a huge math advantage here. And that's sort of what set the tone early in this game. I didn't like them shooting all those jumpers, but they were open, good looks. They hit a ton of them, and it gave them a huge edge early on.
I hated the first quarter. I hated so many things that they did.
I hated how it looked, but it worked.
Hated it, but they escaped with a lead there, and you had to feel pretty good about it. And then they really put the clamps down in that second quarter. And then that's kind of where the game took off from there. The complexion and texture of the game completely changed there in the second.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And you discovered something in this game with that white lineup. Again, I don't think
they did it before though. Yeah,
I don't. They've done it. But it's been good for them now, and this is the best it's looked so far. Bucks, I don't know if they discovered anything from this game. It's just more Giannis, Holiday in spots, Connaughton in spots. Lopez.
Well, that's the thing is like what works, right? That's why we always. So again, it came down to, I think all of us agree, Celtics best is better than the Bucks best. When the Celtics do it, the Celtics seem to fall out of their rhythm more than the Bucks fall out of their rhythm. But the Bucks are thin and the Bucks are a little bit limited, and you're relying on 2 guys to carry your offense. And Jrue Holiday is not like a knockdown, super efficient shooter. And then when he's not having a game where he's, putting up a lot of points and helping carry some of the load, it's all on Giannis. It's just a harder formula for them to win with. That's why I lean Celtics.
I do too. Is Middleton definitely out for Game 7? Is that a definite?
I mean, look at that. 44, 17 from Holiday on 7 for 17, 3 for 10 3-point shooting. And then it goes down. Then it goes down to Connaughton. At 14, it's really really hard.
The NBA is not built for your second best player to be out and you still somehow win. It's just
hard.
The league is too talented, and it's simple as that. Breaks have to go your way, and that's why we were so angry after Game 5, John, because we said the breaks have been going the Celtics way. Yeah, Rob's out. Don't get me wrong. That's definitely a problem. And, less so tonight, but we saw the void, in the rebounding and the second chance points in Game 5. But the Celtics have breaks going their way right now. Your Bucks' second best player is out. He's been out this entire series. You need to take advantage of that. You need to win the series. And that's why another reason why Game 7 at home, that's another break. Listen, the Bucks had a chance to have Game 7 at their home in Milwaukee. They decided that their first round opponent was more important than home court advantage in the second round. They said, you know what? We think we can win anywhere. And so far they've been right. They can. But now it comes down to Game 7. They're traveling. They're going to be on the road here. It's going to be hopefully it's going to be a very loud Game 7. I know Sundays are kind of weird and who knows really what you're going to expect, but I can't imagine that it won't be a boisterous crowd on Sunday. And the Celtics have every reason to win this game. They're going to be the favorites by a few points. They're coming off of a big win here. Again, we already talked about how it was the biggest game of everybody's career. Jason Tatum has got the swagger going again. He's feeling good. He's doing the bull dance out there. I think he flexed to the crowd at the end of the game there, I saw, which was nice to see. Get a little
blowing kisses.
Get the little the kiss game, get the confidence back. And, these guys, I think they see the opportunity now. I think they acknowledge that, Game 5 was, in their grasp and they just let it go. They gave it back. And I would think and I would hope that they won't do that again. I think, this Game 7 is going to be huge for, the mental makeup of this team. And it's really going to tell you if this is a team that at its core can stick together and can, not have to deal with, they've got to do something. They've got to trade somebody. They've got to make changes. They're not good enough. They're too inexperienced. They're never going to be ready. Like that was going to be the discussion tomorrow morning if they lost.
I still want to trade everybody, but that's a different story.
Well, and you know what, John? You're not alone in that, and I guarantee you. Tomorrow's Saturday, but on Monday morning, you're going to be hearing from every media pundit and every a lot of fans too are going to say they got to do something. We don't know what it is, but they got to make changes because they should win this series, and if they don't, somebody's going to pay for it.
And that's why I lean Celtics in this, is just simply the Bucks' margin for error is a lot less than the Celtics is.
Faithful here. Everyone in the chat, all of them believed after that Game 5 loss.
Welcome, okay, Bobby. Welcome to the saying something negative for the first time ever, and see what it feels like. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Bobby. It'll make you stronger.
Welcome to the first 20 minutes of every show I do.
Let me just make it clear.
Welcome to John's Twitter feed, man.
Welcome to my.
Let me make this clear. We just talked positive for 15 minutes. I gotta bring this up, and John's gonna love this. I'm throwing him an alley-oop right now. Fourth quarter, forget the score, forget the time, but Tatum gets caught in the backcourt, falls down, complaining. Wes Matthews shoots up the floor, hits a three. I think it would have got the game really close at that point. Again, I forget the time and situation, but White fouled the guy on the break.
Yeah, a take foul. He fouled Giannis. I know.
Saved the game.
It's amazing. No, I know.
You saw Udoka staring him down. Man, they almost did it again. You spent the whole show on it, John, and they almost did it again with the complaining.
I know, and they did it early. And here's the thing, and it not only on the complaining, but every time he took a forced shot, I swear it turned into a Bucks transition basket the other way. Every friggin' time. And early in the clock, 3, top of the key, guys leaked out, boom, Bucks would go off on the other way and score. Every time he made a bad basketball decision, it's so weird. We talk about short memory. Like Tatum, for parts of that first half, like he would do one terrific thing and then come back and completely forget that was good, and then just take this early in the clock 3.
You're the better team. You've played better in the series.
I don't get it. Just what works. Do it. And when the Celtics do the thing that works for them, they have built double-digit leads. And as soon as they go away from it, it goes the other direction. It's so maddening to watch. And that's why it's like, just do the thing that works. Yeah, and Tatum's the biggest perpetrator, and that's what gets so frustrating watching.
It's tough for Ime in that spot too, because Tatum's cooking a little bit. He does that.
And then
Ime's staring him down, but then he comes down the court and hits a 3 on a nice passing.
Nothing you can do.
And Ime just gives him the pat on the back. You got to live with it. It's part of who he is. It's frustrating. It undermines him, but you look up and he's hitting all those shots, and you're like, all right, we'll live with it tonight. But it cost you in Game 5. I can't fathom how after Game 5 ended, he goes on and does that stuff again.
It's so amazing. And again, it's not the story. The story is he couldn't friggin' miss. He was unconscious.
It's your story. It sounds like it's your story.
No, but that's the thing. I get what Bobby's saying, because it's not sustainable if you're not shooting your friggin' the lights out, because that's what he had 34 points last game, but he was awful because of this stuff. It happened multiple times, and it was extremely frustrating. And you just want him to, you're talking about a guy who you want to enter this conversation of a top 5 player. Stop doing this nonsense. It's not befitting of someone of your skill set and stature. Stop. He has to stop that. And you're right. Early in the year, Ime never pulled him aside and said, you're out, and made an example. So he's had to live with it, and it's burned them a couple times. But again, tonight, the story is it didn't matter because he hit friggin' every shot, and he was an assassin. And, when he's like that, there's nothing you can do. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing, there's no defense.
No second playoff had the stat line.
It's insane. Unreal. It was an insane stat line.
Tatum's
not the first guy to complain. He's not going to be the last. I know it gets frustrating, and at times it is detrimental to his game at times, and I think he realizes that certainly after the fact. I would imagine there's enough.
I'm so tired of people in the chat too. Do you guys like it when he complains? Jesus, what's the problem? We don't.
Yeah, but that's not the story tonight. So like, we shouldn't be harping on it.
It's not a matter of it's a story. You're talking about what's sustainable in the next game, and I'm just saying what Bobby's saying is they shot the lights out, but they got to shed some of this. They lost last game because of a bunch of bad habits. They got to shed those. They have no margin for error. It's a winner take all game. Yeah, you saw a ton of it early.
Okay. Yeah,
and late when Bobby mentioned late in the game and what would have been a critical swing moment. Just get rid of that stuff. Just get rid of it. There's no reason for it.
It's going to be impossible. I mean, listen, we watch the Celtics, and I know we watch the NBA, but I imagine that there's at least some of this on most teams. And
we've got sex bots in the chat, by the way. It's getting out of hand here.
John, I've been blocking these bots for the last 40 minutes. I don't know if you've noticed.
I have been trying to, yeah.
We've both been doing it. I actually texted Amin.
Jimmy, can I just read it to you?
Bots going crazy right now. I think it's probably because of me. I mean, let's be honest. But
Jimmy,
it's crazy that I think we're going a little bit over the top with it. Is it frustrating? Yes.
It's not the story tonight, but in a game where, again,
yeah, John, if it happens game 7 and they lose, I'll give you the floor. I'll give you the floor, and you can scream it on top of a mountaintop. That they're immature.
The things we're trying to avoid: Jalen dribbling the ball off his knee when there's no pressure on him. Marcus Smart forgetting that he's a facilitator and trying to do too much himself, and Jason Tatum going into these bad habits. These are December problems you don't want to see popping up in a game 7 with a shot to go to the conference finals. You got just get rid of that stuff. But again, I mean, oh my God, when the shots fall, none of that matters.
But it's a healthy balance, though, John. It's not like they shot 55 3-pointers out there. I understand your concern in the first quarter, but they mix it up a bit. I think that's what's encouraging. That's what's showing growth of this team, right? And every game has had some sort of curveball that we didn't anticipate, and both teams can say the same thing. So it's hard to say what can happen in Game 7 because I feel like it's gonna be something that we didn't see coming,
Just
whether
focus.
it's someone going off on the Bucks or whether it's the Celtics, someone getting into foul trouble or an injury, there's a lot of things that can happen. But yeah, I mean,
get serious, play it clean. It's game 7. Get friggin' focused. That's all. Okay.
Second half, you shoot 43% field, 33% from 3. So it did regress a little bit there. And Jimmy,
it was going to. They shot 55% in the first half. I mean, that's impossible. But they started going to the basket. It made a difference.
Quarter, they didn't even shoot 1 3. Like again, that was something that no one could have seen coming.
Weird game, right? Weird game.
It was really weird. Marcus just talked about. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, Josue.
No, I was just gonna say Marcus said that he actually got some shots up after the last game. Maybe that helped. Maybe that's why that carried over into.
He was good in warm-ups.
They needed him tonight, man.
Yeah, right. And I feel like it was because of people throwing dirt on his name. And I'm glad Ime spoke out about it and said that, look, listen, this isn't the play, but this wasn't Marcus. The play wasn't designed for Marcus, nor was it Marcus going rogue. He made a basketball play at the end of the day, and I felt like he got a lot of heat for that. Even though if it was less than 24 hours, it really built up, and obviously it was to the point where Ime had to.
Did you read Marcus's quote?
He had to talk about it during his radio interview. He had to point it out.
What quote?
We go as I go. I'm the heart and soul of the team. My teammates say that all the time. I try to bring that for them.
You say that tonight or just now?
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. Okay. Hey. That's fine. It's good. It's good. It's good to think highly of yourself.
Why is that so funny? Like he's some kind of clown. Why is that funny?
I love it.
It's just funny that somebody's like, I'm the heart and soul of the team. Like usually you let somebody else say that. Like, you don't really need to say that. Anyway, it's all good. I also saw on Twitter, I was just cruising through. He said he hasn't slept since game 5.
Yeah.
So sleep's
I never believe that.
Sleep's not really that important.
It sounds good, but I don't believe people actually don't sleep.
2 days?
I don't believe that.
Sounds cool.
Well, there's like a unexpected nap in between the day. Like
that's just stuff you say. Nobody means that. You didn't actually.
I didn't sleep.
John, I saw it on Twitter. About
you mean you don't see? You're not picturing a Marcus Smart in the middle of the night looking out the window, just thinking about. The
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
That's the way I see it in my head. I don't know. He's looking at game film.
You don't want to believe it.
You just say that because you want people to know that you were really beat up about the loss. But of course, he slept.
All right, so I want to hear from you.
Come
I
on,
don't even
baby.
think I'm actually. You know what? I not only
Now I'm
think he
picturing
probably got
Marcus
full
is
8 hours
completely out
each
of it.
night.
Just now.
Marcus is lying.
He got
I
8
want to
hours.
hear from. I want to hear from you guys now because I put myself out there. I'm getting all the crap for my prediction.
Oh, Bobby.
Who do you guys think is going to
As you should.
I'm taking the Celtics, Bobby. I'm telling you. I've been
Seven?
saying it.
No, in
Same.
8. What do you mean?
In 8.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's gonna
before
be
this
the
before the
bonus
series
game.
started, I didn't think it'd go 7. So I guess I'm in the wrong for that one. But I never, even after Game 5, I didn't think the Celtics were doomed. I just think it's going to be harder for them. It's a steeper hill to climb, but I still like the Celtics winning this. In 7.
I like this. Yep. 7. You're going 7, Josue?
Yeah, Celtics in 7. Yeah, for sure.
So,
You're going 7? All right. Yeah. I guess I'll go 7 too. I had Celtics in 6 to start the thing off. I said I've been steadfast. I'm not going to bet against the Celtics until I'm just going to go down with the ship, I think, because I do believe in them. I do think that they have what it takes to beat this Bucks team, again, without Middleton. In the games that they've won, it goes back to like they when they play well, their good beats the Bucks good, in my opinion.
yep.
So that's just how I feel. So if they show up Game 7 at home, I mean, I have to believe that they will. I can't say that they're just not going to show up. For what reason would I say that? So
they've shown up in every game.
What's that?
They've shown up in every game. They've been in every game. In fact, since game
I'm going to give the Bucks Game 1. Like I didn't think they really played that well.
Not game. I don't know about Game 2. They showed up in Game 2.
Yeah.
Game 2, the Celtics murdered them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't know if the Bucks showed up. You say no. You said the
showed
Bucks showed up in every game. I said I don't know if the Bucks showed up in Game 2.
No, I said the Celtics did. Since Game 1, they've only
I
trailed
took
by
7-6, so I was a game off. But I'm not going to all of a sudden flip to the Bucks now, especially after them coming off a win. I'd feel worse if they had a chance to win tonight and blew it. I'd feel worse about that. So I kind of like the fact that they righted the ship. They responded to what was a horrible collapse. A game that we said could ultimately lead to their complete downfall. With that roster, I mean, there was going to be a lot of talk about that. So if they can win Sunday, they shut that discussion up. Yeah. It's really that simple.
It's the Celtics, and why am I ranting about this stuff? If they cut out that little bullshit, they are going to win. That's it. Yeah. It's that simple. Like, cut.
Can we see
shit.
Rob out there though? Can we see your boy
whether
out there,
Rob
John?
or not? I honestly still think there's the formula for the Celtics to win is there, and when they execute, they outplay the Bucks. Their best is better. They're doing this. They're doing a lot of it to themselves.
Be over, John.
And the series could be over, and the Celtics shot themselves in the foot over, and the series could and probably should be over. So again, if they just knock off those lapsing into those bad habits, get those off the screen.
Dude, I tried to block it.
Let me do this.
Why would you post that?
Sex bots.
I didn't post it.
Sex bots are going to be a number 1 seed next year.
Okay, listen, it's very difficult.
But that's why it's Celtics in 7 if they frigging just literally do what they're doing.
I'm on board, John.
Do what they do. And the Bucks have a much smaller margin for error. They have to get contributions from people they're not used to, and they have to hit a ton of their threes, and they still have to have a big Giannis game to win. A lot has to go the Bucks way, and the Celtics make it hard because the defense is always there. It's the great equalizer. Even when they play like shit, they stay in every game because their defense is so friggin' good. Cut the other bad habits out, and I don't think that they can lose this game at home. I don't think they can.
Let me say this, John, because I think everything you said there is 100% right. I think Josue, Jimmy, you guys are all right. They should win.
Here comes
Go out there and do it. Go out there and do it. If you win on Sunday, you're winning the championship because this is the hardest team you're going to face.
I don't disagree. Where did all these sex spots come from?
I disagree because I think the Warriors, if they can get past Memphis, I mean, they're still
this team's tougher than the
Warriors. They can get past Phoenix. I don't know.
I was gonna say Phoenix next, but I mean, those two teams.
The East might be better, babe.
Yeah, Phoenix is in trouble, man.
These are tough teams, man.
You got turned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back.
None of it's gonna be easy. We'll just leave it at that. But
if
I don't think it's easy. I think Miami's a tough out.
Again,
Miami's tough.
Let me just give the Celtics some credit here before I leave, because again,
they're coming strong on this chat here.
I'm trying to really set people's minds to how big of a threat the Bucks are here. Again, they're going to come out storming in Game 7. It's going to be a battle right down to the wire. Again, I said this since the beginning of the series. This one's going down to the
We don't
final
believe you,
minute.
Bobby. Take it back. We don't believe it.
So, I'm not saying but the Celtics can't win this. They should win this. But man, they gotta, as John said, you gotta cut out those complaining situations where you give up baskets away. You gotta give up the possessions where you're stagnant, you're dribbling around, you're
standing, unforced turnovers. Just
if you
play
cut all that out,
yeah.
If you cut those three things out, you're gonna win easy on Sunday. So go do it. If you do it,
again, that's why I rant. Is just stop doing that thing, and you let the Bucks back into games. There's been multiple opportunities this series they could have put their foot on the gas and just taken off, just put a game to bed. And they you saw that 18-point lead when it went to 11 and Ime called the timeout. You could see that coming a mile away because they were like, "Oh, we're up big." Doink, doink, doink. I was like, "Oh God, come on, stop." They can't have nice things. So but they righted it. They righted the ship tonight. And again, a lot of it was the shot making. So that's the point. If they don't make the shots that they're making tonight, that lead keeps dwindling. And that's I don't know if you can count on 46 from Tatum every single night. You got to play clean.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. That's what scares me, John. And all seriousness,
that's why you got to knock that shit out.
I like the Celtics' chances in this one, but if it's neck and neck, 2 minutes to go in a game, that's going to be tough for the Celtics because it's hard when you have to rely on one guy, and I feel like that's just going to be the case. Unless we get another big performance from Al or Jalen really gets going here. I mean, either way, I just feel like against the Bucks, it's tough against these guys, when it comes to that moment where, the game is tied and you have to go one-on-one with Giannis. Giannis typically wins those. So, yeah. I mean, you have to set the tone early.
Yeah. I also think the Heat are tougher than Bobby gives them credit for here.
Right? Me too. I think that'll be the toughest team they see, honestly.
I think it's tough team.
Disciplined. They're deeper. They got other weapons.
It's a team that's not going to beat itself ever.
They've got Hero, who's like the X factor, because the Bucks don't really have that right now. They don't have a guy that can like that.
Yeah.
They're getting. Trust me. I mean, Connaughton's doing everything he can, and Portis obviously played well too, but neither of those guys are Tyler Hero. And Butler's been playing out of his mind. I mean, I'm kind of in the camp that.
And Bam would wake up against the Celtics.
Butler might
he wouldn't be the same Bam.
Sometimes a little overrated, but the way he's playing. And he's been there, done that. He's the veteran. He's a good villain. He's definitely a fun guy to cheer against. If you're a Celtics fan and you end up advancing, you're gonna really like to hate Jimmy Butler. That's for sure. And Bam, Josue, Bam's another guy. I mean, Bam did work against the Celtics 2 years ago in the bubble. That was really the difference in that series. Was Bam?
Should we just jump ahead to a? Should we just jump ahead to a finals preview? How do you think they're going to match up against Ayton and Booker?
Will Rob be back by then? I don't know.
This is such a Celtic show.
I know. Well, people are curious. Some people in the chat wanted us to talk a little bit about Rob, so we'll indulge them. And I wanted Bobby's take, but we'll get it when he gets back. I've heard people saying things like it's not a Rob series,
Clearly not a Rob series.
I don't like his chances of playing in Game 7.
It's not a Rob series, and I disagree. It's not a Rob series. I think it's not a Rob.
What do you mean? It's not a Rob series. Like, what do you
meaning? Like, if he were in there, this isn't the type of matchup for him. He wouldn't be great in here. I've seen some people question, and I know Bobby was like, "Rob's not great for this series." No, hobbled Rob is not great for this series. Healthy Rob is great for any series because healthy Rob is an impact player. So if he's playing. The problem with Rob
I don't get that at all.
The problem with Rob is he more so than any.
He's saying the Rob we saw
against
the Nets versus the old Rob.
Yeah, when Rob's not 100% physically, he's about 30% the player. So you see that decline. Some guys can play with Jalen's got his hammies and he's still close to Jalen, right? Tatum, wrist, Smart, thigh. They're still effective players. Rob gets a little bit hurt. He loses some of that explosiveness. He can't do the things that he can do. He becomes way, 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 way less effective. So I don't even know if it's worth seeing a guy who's not at 100%. He's got to be able to jump. He's got to be able to contest. He's got to be able to rebound. He's got to be able to move well, to close out, to be quick on his feet. If not, I don't know. I'm a little, I don't know what to think of, Rob, and whether he's coming back and how it's going to help him or affect them.
John, you might be spot on, because I think one of the most telling quotes from Ime pregame was when he said, you're not going to see Rob till he's 100%. He hasn't said that before. And I feel like a lot of that's because they've seen the small sample size of banged up Rob, and they don't like what they saw. So, I mean, maybe he's exaggerating a bit. Maybe it's more like if he sees like 90% Rob, maybe he goes out there, but I don't think that happens within the next couple of days. I think this is something that they're gonna continue to see how he does, how he responds, and see how he looks. If he passes the eye test before they trot him out there, which is probably going to be if the Celtics advance in the next round. I don't think you put him in there in Game 7 and wipe out the progress you made thus far. Or maybe not completely, but maybe the thinking is more is better. The more rest, the better. So right now, at least.
All right. What do you think, Jimmy?
If it's a Rob series,
Jimmy wasn't listening. Jimmy wasn't
listening. It's a freaking Rob series, and if Rob's gonna play or if he's still hurt, they're gonna. I'm not
all that stuff. There you go.
No, I'm not expecting Rob Sunday. I'm out on Rob this series. I don't expect him. And I think they've proven they don't need him. They've won 2 games without him. That being said, I did think his presence was missing Game 5 when they just got worked on the board.
Yes, but they could have used him.
The formula's there to win without them. They've won 2 of their 3 games without him. Do I want to see him back on the team? Of course. I mean, he's starting big man. I mean, let's be honest.
Only 7 offensive rebounds for the Bucks versus 17. That was a big improvement.
Different, it was just different tonight. So
that was good.
It's adjustments. That might be an Ime thing. That might
just
be Celtics thing, helping out.
The reason you need him is Al Horford, 38 minutes, 1 for 6, 2 points. Okay.
Talk about getting tired.
Come back down to earth.
But I know he's coming back down to earth. And honestly, Al has good games without scoring points all the time. And he's asked to friggin' body up Giannis. And he's playing his defense. He's doing his best. So, I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, Al still.
It was a Tatum game, though.
Insanely valuable. All I'm saying
we're just firing off excuses right now.
It's the 38 minutes that worries you, because you had 43 from Tatum, 38 from Horford, 40 from Smart, 41 from Brown, 30 from White, and you're just sliding Tyson there for 10 minutes to just give people a breather there. It just
come on, he hit a jump shot. He did all right.
No, but you need that other big body. All I'm saying is 10, 11 minutes. He played 11 the other night, 10 tonight. That's as much as Ime is comfortable, and really nothing in the second quarter outside of foul trouble. And that's where Rob, has some has.
But that's the thing, John. That's what the Bucks have been taking advantage of, in my opinion, this entire series. The inside scoring. I don't know if you see that if you got a 100% Rob, the guy that we saw a couple of months ago. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
And that's the thing that's the thing that the Bucks are capitalizing on. But at the same time, if you're the Celtics, it's not like that's equivalent to losing someone like Chris Middleton, on the other side. I know that was something that was brought to our attention on Twitter today, right? Somebody tweeted at us about that. I'm like, that's completely different. That's like taking Jalen out of this series, So.
Totally. I mean, that is the equivalent. Speaking of Jalen, he's at the podium. Backs against the wall, elimination game. So you have to come out with the mindset to kill or be killed. Yeah. Survivor of the fittest. We don't feel like we should be the team going home.
Bobby. Also, Jalen on Giannis Antetokounmpo, his conditioning is great. He doesn't seem to get tired as others. He just keeps coming. So anyone saying Giannis looking tired, the dude just keeps coming. So we'll see. He's got 2 days off. Yeah.
Sex, my dog. Speaking of sex, Bob.
We'll see. I don't know. 3 40 pieces would be impressive.
Pick up your phone, download the app, calm.com/garden, receive 40% off. It is America's #1 sleep and meditation app. And you can't go wrong with it, right? Jimmy uses it. Sleep stories, music, nature sounds, all sorts of things, getting your body and your mind right. A lot of people, they kind of take that stuff for granted. It really does make a difference. And those of us in the Garden Report who use it have benefited from it tremendously. So really good deal. Calm.com/garden, 40% off a premium subscription. Go get yourself some Calm right now. We got to stay calm. We got 2 Game 7s if you're a Boston sports fan, starting with the Bruins at 4:30 on Saturday. We'll have a post-game show here at CLNS Media after the game, featuring our Bruins beat guy Evan Marinovsky. And then, of course, do we have a Game 7 start time? Evan? Yes, Jimmy. Jimmy, do we have a Game 7 start time?
You're asking me. I don't off the top.
I don't know. You raised your hand. You looked like you knew stuff.
So I was trying to. I wanted to finish.
One person reported. Someone reported it was going to be a matinee, but then I think the official announcement was it's going to be a night game on Sunday. So I want to say
3:30. 3:30.
Or nothing still.
3:30
for the Celtics one.
3:30. Yep.
Dude, why do they do these middle of the day games?
Because they wanted.
That was the initial announcement, but I thought I saw something different. Oh, all right.
You got Mavericks Suns that night too.
Oh, goody. I just want to say real quick about Calm. The hard hat.
That's why.
The hard hat's the hardware for your head. Calm's the software. Think of it that way. You guys want to be protected. You want to be protected. You want to protect your mental, not just with the hardware, with the software.
Kid's been saving that since the last hard hat game. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't use it last game.
Couldn't use it last game.
So yeah, Calm.com starting 40% off. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that deal. It's the best deal you're going to get. You can look around for a better one. You will not find one.
Gonna help us. Anyway, 3:30.
Everyone. Bobby? Or did he go do interviews?
Bobby's got to go talk to Bobby Portis about his free throw shooting or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The art of the free throw miss rebound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the that's on the top of that's a top 5 player for Bobby, I think. That was
How about this? I just saw on Twitter, Celtics open a 5-point favorite for Game 7. 5 points.
They were 5.5 in Game 5 as well at home. So again, that's where they've got them.
Against Luka, though?
I mean,
that was a heck of a game. You guys watch that?
What's that, John? I mean, Josue?
That was a heck of a game. You guys watch that? I said, but against Luka, I'm surprised the spread is that big.
What? Wait, what game are we talking about here?
Talking about the Suns game?
No, I'm talking about the Celtics. Game 7. They're 5-point favorites.
Oh,
there's a Celtics show, man. I don't care about the Suns spread.
We were just talking. Never mind. I thought we were doing our NBA thing. Never mind.
No, we ain't there yet. We're talking about Game
7.
That's
the Game 7 going on. That's the same.
By the way, people talking about hats and hard hats merch. CLNS merch is coming. Garden Report merch for people who are interested. Yeah, and we'll have a store up and running soon with some stuff.
Better have a say in some of these products.
Well, there's going to be
a cut too.
There's going to be some homeschool lunch boxes, Jimmy homeschool lunch boxes.
You weren't even on the conference call.
Do people use pencils anymore?
Yeah, of course. You just stick it in your ear. You don't actually use it. You just look like you're doing something. That's a little trick.
Yeah.
Little trick for the people who are going to the office. You just stick a pen in your ear. No one's going to question that you're doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I always hated the pencils that were too sharp. I hated those.
You sharpen your own pencils, Josue. That's
the
your
bold
doing.
one. Yeah, but the bowl,
there'll
like
be
the ones that sharpen too much.
We'll have some phenomenal T-shirts for sure. Maybe we might have to do sex spots now.
The youngins don't remember, but that used to be nice
to.
You can show off your outfit when you go up and sharpen your pencil in school.
Unfortunate posting. I think there will be a Brockton Wi-Fi shirt.
There's a Brockton Wi-Fi shirt.
Unless the production fails in the middle of it, which would be.
I already put the copyright on that, Jimmy. I'm about to make some dough.
Oh yeah, we got. Listen, if we're doing merch, we got to talk about. I better be seeing that hit my bank account. Every T-shirt sell. I better be getting a cut here.
There will be Bobby Manning turtlenecks for sale. Yep, for sure. There will be Bobby bucket hats.
Yeah, we're doing bucket hats.
Sam Packard called him. What do you call it? He called him Bobby Jobs when he had the black turtleneck.
Steve Jobs. Yeah. There'll be hot guy merch, branded hot guy towels.
Hot guy. Who's hot guy?
Who's hot guy?
Your favorite nickname of all time, dude. Get out of here.
I know I'm not a superhero. Like I'm not that into superheroes, but I didn't think there was a superhero named Hawkeye.
Hot guy condoms.
I had no idea. And someone said that. Yo, is that the bot? That's the bot, bro. That is.
No, that's
Yeah,
the
dude,
bot's
don't
a
post
fan.
the bots. We talked
That's
about
a-
that.
The bot's
Don't
a
post the
fan.
bot.
That's a real person. The bots are real fans. The bots have been with us since Toronto.
Oh man. Game 7, Sunday afternoon. Man, my Sundays just went up in flames, huh? I guess we're having a Sunday evening with the boys.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do
Let's
that.
go.
Yeah.
Sunday evening with the boys. We're gonna be needing
I was gonna
Tom,
I was gonna give Bobby a chance to have a last bite at the apple here, but again, we've already talked about it and we've given our Game 7 predictions, so I think we will wrap it. Guys, you have any final thoughts?
yeah.
Just. Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh no, I insist.
No, I was just gonna say for Tatum for this kind of performance to carry over, I think it's realistic if you're a Celtics fan going into it. But I just want to continue to see the Celtics move that ball around, to get the ball rotation the way it was, game 2, especially that first half. Get out in front of these guys if you can. You see the Milwaukee Bucks are trying to do that in this one, but the Celtics just didn't let them do that. And I just think it all starts with the defense. If they can really dig in deep and string together stops early on, I think they can build a good double-digit lead, throughout that first half and just try to build on that. This is a Bucks team that's gonna obviously, get rid of deficits. It's just what they've done all series. So I don't think in Game 7 we'll see anything different. But the Celtics have to build that cushion and be able to survive this. And I think honestly it starts with the defense, and that's going to catapult the offense for this team. And hopefully we can get something from the second unit as well. I think that's really important in Game 7s. It's just something that, especially when the home crowd is there, that's there's value in that for sure. Whether it was Peyton Pritchard, whether it was Grant Williams, or I guess Grant's a starter now, but just someone that or Derek White, just someone that can give you that consistency throughout. We saw that in this one from Derek White. Maybe that does carry over. But yeah, I'm looking to see these guys just have a well-balanced attack, scoring attack. Maybe get 5 or 6 guys scoring in double figures. One of those classic Celtics wins where they're shooting efficient, they're efficient on offense, but also just stringing together stops, on the defense.
Yeah, T-shirt idea: lunch pails, hard hats, can't lose. And that's got to be the theme with this team on Sunday. You show up to work, you show up to play, you will win that game.
Jimmy saying, can't lose. Print it.
Print it. That's the new one.
Hot guys, and lunch pails.
Lunch pails, hard hats, can't lose. When these guys show up to play, they win. It's as simple as that. They're the better team when both teams play hard. They typically are the ones that will outlast the Bucks in the series. That being said, I'm just excited for Game 7 because we're gonna learn something about this team one way or the other. We're gonna learn that they have what it takes to, they are constructed to beat the best and to win and to move on, or they're not. The mental makeup's either there or it isn't. And we're gonna learn that on Sunday. So we're learning something about this team on Sunday one way or the other. So I'm excited for that. I do think the Celtics will win. I think that they've shown me enough that, I'm just riding with them, until they get eliminated, and I will go down with the ship in this case. And I haven't felt that way about every Celtics team. I'm not just a blind homer, but with this team, I'm sticking with them until they prove me wrong. So again, show us what you got on Sunday. It's going to be, again, it's the next. What's the biggest game? The next game. That's pretty much the case with these guys. Tatum showed out tonight, and I want to see what he does since. That's pretty good.
People want a T-shirt of you showing the phone to the camera.
That, and if Bobby gets a one-on-one with Thanasis, that would just top things.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
Yeah, he's in the. I like that comment. He's in the Thanasis presser right now instead of on the show.
Yeah. right. The anatomy of a baseline cheer by the what goes into getting the boys going on the sidelines.
Bobby's gonna have 3,500 words on that tomorrow with clips with clips and vid caps. Yeah.
How do you get the perfect towel?
Look how Thanasis goes out. He's the first guy to high five the team after the timeout.
Who's the Celtics dude?
Who's the Celtics dude?
What do you mean?
Who's the guy? The funny guy who hasn't played a second, but he's the cheerleader.
Oh, Fitz.
Oh, Mark Fitz. Yeah.
Yeah. Fitz versus Thanasis, frame by frame, towel waving.
Yeah. Tail the tape.
Yeah.
Fitz really got into it though, right? Like right away.
John, what's your
he's been
final
here all
thought?
year.
Let me guess. Stop complaining. Is that your final thought?
Yeah, man. For the love of God, not just.
I was kidding, but here we go.
Not just the complaining. Again, you already said it. It's just my version and your version are roughly the same. Just do the things you know are successful. That's it. Just move the ball. Work work till you get a good shot. Friggin' obviously quit the complaining, quit the turnovers, and just play the defense that they play. They win this game. They win it. And they don't have to shoot lights out to do it. When you do that kind of stuff, you make it really hard on yourself. So again, just don't forget yourselves. Like there's a version of the Celtics that drove us freaking mad, and then there's a version that literally curb stomped the entire league for half a season. Be that version, and then go to the conference finals. It's friggin' right there for the taking. It's an amazing opportunity given how far this team has come before. We've seen the good. When the bad rears its head, it just gives you PTSD because you've seen it before and you're like, I can't believe that's still in their DNA somewhere. So just shed that. Just for the love of God, be the best version of yourselves. That's it.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say it.
I like it. The Sun's going to win.
It was headed there. I was headed right.
You just did 10 minutes on just a Brad Stevens quote, man.
I was steering down that road. I was like, I don't know where to go. I'm heading right for it. Be the best version of yourselves. Win Game 7. Go to the finals.
Became the person he hated. Right before our eyes.
It just happened. I didn't mean it. Anyway, that's it. Do we have another one? No, that's it. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got. Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys, let's have a weekend, all right? What do you say,
yes,
boys? Huh?
Fun chat, spirited.
Day tomorrow. Celtics coming off a win. Have a Friday night. Have a Saturday, and we'll see you guys Sunday evening.
And Jalen's got another 20-plus point game.
Hopefully with positive vibes only on Sunday. How about that?
Deal. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you on